TSR Subramaniam, Pavan Verma of the JDU, former Cabinet Secretary Kiran Bedi. She backs Mr. Modi openly. Former IPS officer and activist Meenakshi Lekhi of the BJP, Mr. Surjewala of the Congress Party is joining us in some time. Gaurav Bhatia joining us in about 8 to 9 minutes. I'm going to start by asking TSR Subramaniam. Now, this is really embarrassing, isn't it? Where the Election Commission actually, the CEC has to come out and say, I'm not afraid of anyone. I mean, the CEC comes out and says, I'm not afraid. Why did it have to come down to this, Mr. Subramaniam?
I agree with you, Arnab. I was very surprised when I heard that statement yesterday. I would assume that no constitutional authority would be afraid of any party or any agency or anybody in India. They are only afraid of the Constitution. And I was very, very astonished to hear that. But I think there have been very peculiar features in this particular case. Firstly, that district magistrate, it is the right of every candidate, particularly a prime ministerial candidate, to have a rally. And there are other rallies there. He has had 400 rallies earlier. He should have had a clear-cut, convincing reason if he were to stop you, number one. Number two, I could not understand where the chief secretary?
Exactly.
Where is the DGP? It is as if it is directly a boy of 25 and the Election Commission at Delhi. Where is the whole machinery there? I am very surprised. I have not heard them at all what their point of view is. If there is a serious threat, they should have taken charge and not allowed him to handle. He probably did not understand the enormity of the occasion. And thirdly, I think the Commission has not covered itself with glory. Whatever decision they took, they should have had a convincing answer. They should have gone public.
Yeah.
After all, instant decisions are taken. This is the era of TV. And they should have come back that same day.
What were they waiting for?
I'm very, very surprised.
What were they waiting for? And as Mr. Surjewala enters the debate...
No, look...
I also would like to raise another question here. I'm only raising this as food for thought, Mr. Surjewala. And don't respond immediately because I'll come to you in a while. But food for thought for the Congress party tonight is, why did it not look at this entire issue through an objective lens? Did it look at the entire issue through a partisan lens? When serious questions are being raised here, irrespective of who the person who is under question is, be it Narendra Modi, perhaps the question today is, why has the Election Commission given in to the BJP's complaints if the complaints themselves are completely illegitimate? Kiran Bedi, how is the EC looking to you today? In your view, how does the Election Commission look now that it's been forced to back off?
Just as we remember TN Sessions' times for glory, I think we'll remember this time for a downside, for a nosedive. I think it's been an unrecoverable day. It's unrecoverable for what they've done. It's inexcusable for what they've done. Even the Intelligence Bureau in your Times of India news clearly said they had no threat perceptions. They never informed the state government that there is any such security. So where did this threat come from? So they don't have the support of the intelligence. So if they've used the security card without being supported by the Intelligence Bureau itself. So what are they coming under? And I agree with Mr. Subramaniam. Where's the state government? I think it's been a deliberate act. I think it's been a very nervous act. I think the Chief Election Commissioner seemed to have been nervous to even conduct the most vital event of the whole commission. I think it's absolutely inexcusable. What is important is you have made a candidate who the last campaign unreachable. I think he would have unfolded the whole vision for Banaras. You've denied him a very important opportunity to give to his own constituency a vision document for the city.
Aren't you hyping it a bit there? You're hyping it a bit there, Ms. Bedi. You're hyping it a bit. Come on now. It's not as if Narendra Modi's vision does not go out because a rally is not allowed.
I'm sorry. This is not... The man has not had an opportunity to address any rally.
Sorry.
He's not had it. You've denied him his right to have
Ms. Bedi,
entire constituency. Denied him a right.
Well, Ms. Bedi, responding to you today, I can see their big smile on Pavan Verma's face and Randeep Surjewala's hands go up. Randeep Surjewala represents the Congress party tonight. Randeep Surjewala? Yes, you can respond to him first.
Arnab, the short point is, here is a man who on 24th of April challenges the authority of Election Commission. He is not an ordinary person. He is leader of a political party and says, I care two hoots for the Election Commission of India.
Did he use those words, I care to hoots?
Turns around and
Did he use those words, I care to hoots, or are you making it up?
I will quote Mr. Modi exactly what he said in West Bengal. He said, Election Commission is partisan. I am warning Election Commission. Who is Mr. Narendra Modi to threaten, to intimidate and to warn the Election Commission of India, a body enshrined with the task of conducting free and fair election? I don't hold any brief for them. It is the denigration of institution that Mr. Modi has started, and it is the denigration of institution that Bharatiya Janata Party does. And what do they do in Varanasi? They do three things. Number one, they proceed to take alternative permission for a ground on 6th of May through Mr. Vidya Sagar Rao, their representative, and then throw it in the dustbin. Number two, the ground is inspected by...
No, we'll go into the details of all those matters in a bit, Mr. Surjewala, but I have a counter question to you. Mr. Surjewala, we'll go into all those details. We will go into all those details. But please, Mr. Surjewala, please do not do what you are doing. Please do not do what you are doing, Mr. Surjewala. Because you are pretending that you have never questioned the Election Commission. May I remind you, sir, that Madhusudan Mistry has said things about the State Election Commissioner being biased during his poster war. Please do not mind it. But I will also remind you what your senior top Congress leader Salman Khurshid has said about the Election Commission. On March 14th, would you like me to read it? Or do you know what he said?
Arnab,
so my question to you is, Mr. Surjewala, that are you shedding...
State Election Commissioner of Gujarat, who is patently prejudiced with the Chief Election Commissioner and the
institution
Election Commission of India, number one.
Okay,
number two,
so you can criticize, you can call the State Election Commissioner biased and prejudiced.
I am talking about the Election Commission of India, and I am entitled as a political party to disagree with them. But I am not entitled as a political party and as a leader of political party to denigrate, to demolish, as also to humiliate and intimidate a constitutional body and
Mr. Surjewala responding to Mr. Meenakshi Lekhi responding to you. The question is, and Mr. Surjewala, keep it in mind, it's a question, I'm only adding a line here, Mr. Meenakshi Lekhi is responding. The question is, are you shedding crocodile tears for the institutional integrity of the Election Commission being under attack, when I have just proven to you tonight that you have been guilty of attacking the Election Commission in the past? Meenakshi Lekhi responding to the Congress spokesperson. Meenakshi Lekhi.
Nobody in Congress.
The institution is not to be denigrated at this. Please go ahead. I'll respond to your
line.
line.
Interrupting you, I don't mean to. I only want to point out to Arnab. Arnab, it is about institutional integrity of the institution. Congress and BJP and others can disagree with the Election Commission and its decisions.
Ma'am, sir, please.
Has a right.
Sir, I want to know. No, 1 second. You can point it to me. No, first of all, no, 1 second. It's not between you and me. You can point it to me. But if you point it to me, I will also point it to you that in a foreign country, on the 14th of March, the Foreign Minister of India makes fun of the Election Commission. I ask you, Mr. Surjewala, what is that? Maintaining or reducing the institutional integrity of the Election Commission? At that point of time, no Congress spokesperson said anything. Meenakshi Lekhi now responding to you. Meenakshi Lekhi. Pavan Verma after that.
We respect the Constitution of India, we respect the institutions made under that, and we expect people holding those chairs will act in accordance with the Constitution and the law. And whenever you find that particular statement wanting, it is an insult to the Constitution of India and the democracy of India. And it is precisely this what has transpired during these elections. Let me remind Mr. Surjewala 2-3 instances. The first instance is when a particular picture and a selfie was shown on the cameras, which was perfectly with the legal recourse away from that 100-meter distance, etc., etc., without even verifying the facts. by 2 o'clock on the same day, FIR was sought to be registered in all police stations of Gujarat and rest of the country.
Just a minute.
Against a prime ministerial candidate. Can I complete?
No, please complete. Please complete. Now, I was telling Mr. Surjewala.
Now, when we are talking about institutional integrity, I expect people who are sitting on those chairs to maintain institutional integrity, because they are bound by the law as much as I am bound by the law, and I hope and presume that they respect the law as much as I respect the law. And it is here that a person enters the EVM center who happens to be vice president of a particular party, the Congress party, which is represented by Mr. Surjewala. Till date, no FIR is registered.
Specific instance?
What do you call it? If somebody is conducting in a partisan manner, you think the Constitution of India does not give me a right to voice that? And what I voice my opposition to, you will call that as intimidation? From where does it become intimidation? I think we are all creatures of law. And everybody has to be bound by the law.
Well, so an open allegation of bias being put there. Pavan Verma wanted to respond actually to that question. Mr. Surjewala should. But the question here is this. Rahul Gandhi is seen inside polling booths. Inside, not outside. Not outside the door. Not at the gate, Mr. Surjewala. Rahul Gandhi is seen inside the polling booths. In the polling area. When Amethi voted on the 7th of May, I want to ask you, Mr. Surjewala, or let me ask Pavan Verma, since on many issues he is sympathetic with the Congress nowadays, why don't you both do a joint dharna outside the Nirvachan Sadan and demand action against Rahul Gandhi for violating the Election Commission Code with the same gusto with which you asked for action against Mr. Modi? Why don't you do that? Which one of you will respond? Pavan Verma, would you like to respond first? Yes, please.
I think...
Generally, allow me to speak. Arnab,
let me respond to that.
I think we must all get a chance to say something.
Mr. Verma.
Randeep ji.
Okay.
No, Arnab, let me say one thing. First of all, your insinuation is entirely misplaced, but that be what it may. Arnab, the Indian elections are the world's largest organized human exercise. There are bound to be situations which are deeply contested. And to contest them is a legitimate right. And I believe that the BJP in doing so did nothing wrong, and I believe the Congress in doing so, when so accused, does nothing wrong. But it's a quantum jump from going from that to go to questioning the credentials, the intention and the motivation of a constituted body. I say that because while Mr. Jaitley said in Varanasi that to protest against the decision of the returning officer is in fact a Gandhian idiom in the manner in which we are doing it, all manner of BJP spokesmen after that went on to question the very credentials of the Election Commission. There were spokesmen who called it shameless, they called it incompetent,
Meenakshi Lekhi.
They said it's motivated, it's biased.
So is the Election Commission above question?
And I say to you, please don't begin this exercise, because if your approach is that when it agrees with me, it's fine. The moment it disagrees with me, we will question the very basis.
I think we are getting. I would like.
I believe we are on a very slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope, but then what was the follow-up action on the part of the Election Commission after the complaint was made over Sonia Gandhi's meeting with the Shahi Imam?
Yes, my question is very simple. The job of Election Commission is to have fair election in the first place. And to have fair election, it has to sound like fair body. Now I have given you two instances, just expose each other, and what has been the action of the Election Commission. And if this is the treatment meted out, I am within my legal and constitutional rights to question the Election Commission.
Please
and that is exactly
so.
what has been done.
And had Election Commission attribute motives to the Election
Verma ji, when I'm questioning, the credibility needs to be established. They have failed to do so.
How can you? You're making
my charge against them.
Are you making a broad generalization?
I am saying the pictures.
No, you are the
pictures are shown. The rigging pictures are shown. Mr. Rahul Gandhi's pictures are all over.
No, 1 second. Now, Miss Lekhi, you are hyping it. You are hyping it. How do you say he was rigging the election?
I'm not. I'm saying.
No, you are making a serious charge. You are saying Rahul Gandhi is not rigging the election. How is he rigging the election?
Number, please.
How is he rigging the election?
Could you please? No.
Arnab, there are
two separate things. Don't combine the two.
Instances of violation intentional of model code of conduct, of disregard of law, of denigration of law,
model code of conduct is to assist
Narendra Modi.
Model code of conduct is to assist a fair election.
That at the time of
Sir, you're not letting me speak. I think I respectfully request you to keep quiet when I'm speaking. I respectfully request you to keep quiet when I'm speaking the way I kept quiet so that my voice can be heard. And there is no further murder of democracy. We are all entering a civilized debate. And civilized debate where institutional integrity, which is a very serious matter, needs to be discussed.
Please go ahead.
An institutional matter where we all agree to respect the institution. The people holding those institutional posts need to respect it as much. And justice should not only be done, but seen to be done.
How is it not being done in this case?
Two instances. I'm saying that.
Why would you?
In one instance, you record an FIR by 2 o'clock when the particular event has happened without even asking for a local report to be furnished. Here, the papers and everything else is getting those pictures. The social media is full of it. You don't even register an FIR. What is this? Why is it that people should not question the credibility? I can tell you another
one instance, Ms. Lekhi.
7 people. I am telling you another instance where people from BJP have been arrested in Varanasi for distributing caps and giving election slips, which is a legal duty under the law of the land. That is a political worker's duty to do it. And not only arrested, but they were kept in jail for 2.5 days. And yet the district magistrate, no action has been taken against. Again, DM not as a person, but as a post. As a post. If a person is getting misused for whatever reason, you need to ensure that
who is getting misused?
And the first duty
who is getting misused? Be specific. Now these are very serious charges. No. 1 second, Miss Lekhi, you have made. No, Miss Lekhi. Now that you've spoken. Now that you've spoken, I'd like to highlight 2 things before I get responses. And 1 second. First charge made Rahul Gandhi rigging the election. Second charge made that an individual is being used.
I said rigging is happening in UP. I am saying rigging is happening in UP and Rahul Gandhi entering the EVM machine area along with another person. That is a violation.
Where is the rigging? I'll play the pictures, prove
rigging
the rigging.
Happened at elsewhere.
And name the person, by the way, Meenakshi Lekhi. Name the person, Miss Lekhi, who you say is being used.
There are many polling booths, Faizabad and so on and so forth. I don't even recall those names. We are getting information on a daily basis. Azamgarh is in a bad state.
But let's not.
Oh, there are. I think after 2004 and all, this is the first election where mass rigging is happening. Maharashtra, Bombay, Pune, the kind of lists which have been messed up. I think the first duty, sir, one line so that you can rebut me. Let me add one line.
Firstly,
let me add one line so that you can rebut me. My one line is that the first and foremost duty of the Election Commission is to ensure fair elections. And if fair elections are not being ensured by stopping a person from campaigning in his own constituency,
Ms. Lekhi, now you are getting into, now you've taken a lot of time. I need to get Kiran Bedi, TSR Subramaniam are not silent observers to the debate. And Pavan Verma has every right to come into this.
We've had a long statement by Ms. Lekhi. I just want to very quickly point out 3 things. Firstly, Ms. Lekhi, you must not forget that on the day of first phase of polling, Mr. Modi and BJP, in complete violation of EC instructions and model code of conduct, proceeded to release your manifesto in a televised address. Number 2, on the 5th phase of polling, particularly when polling was taking place, Mr. Modi was televising his entire nomination in negation of EC's instructions. He again threatened EC, and I quote, his tweet says, I am warning the election commission.
Which law?
Who has the responsibility or authority to warn election commission? In this fashion, I did not interrupt. Please have the patience to hear.
Why?
When Mr. Modi was threatening election commission, when he was intimidating election commission, why did BJP not come forward and say that we are compromising with the institutional integrity of the commission? When you speak about registration of a case against him in Vadodara, you forget that Section 126 of the Representation of People Act prohibits campaigning. It does not talk about 100 meters or 200 meters. That is Section 130. So do not try to muzzle facts. The way Mr. Modi campaigned, the way he held a spontaneous press conference, the way he went around campaigning for votes, and the way he denigrated his opposition more than warranted a registration of a case under 126. And what did he do the other day? When he denied a rally in violation of prohibitory orders,
I say, Mr. Surjewala, can the other participants quickly come in? No, the question is, Mr. Subramaniam. Mr. Surjewala, please concede. Please concede. I want TSR Subramaniam and Kiran Bedi to come in. I know that Kiran Bedi,
put to you, ma'am.
I know that Kiran Bedi supports Narendra Modi. And dare I say, Kiran Bedi actually on Newshour couple of months back said, I support Narendra Modi for Prime Minister. But Miss Bedi today, be completely objective. I say tonight, criticize the Election Commission as much as you want. I criticize the Election Commission. I asked Mr. Sampath 5 questions in the start of news, and I told the Chief Election Commissioner, it is time for you to really introspect and reflect on what you're doing. But is the BJP right? Is Meenakshi Lekhi correct, Kiran Bedi, in suggesting the Election Commission is partisan? Then you're saying the Election Commission of India is institutionally partisan. What we are saying is that the Election Commission of India is making too many mistakes which damage its credibility. But to accuse it of being partisan, Kiran Bedi, is that going a bit too far?
Arnab, I don't need to reply this. Only an hour ago, I saw Mr. Brahma's interview on another channel. And the Election Commission member himself is talking about problems within the Election Commission. He himself says we need to retrieve our ground. We've lost ground. We have lost credibility. He himself has said. He himself has admitted that lapses have happened. He himself. So I don't need to say what he said.
So why is this, if I may ask you, Ms. Bedi?
I've come after seeing that.
No, Ms. Bedi, why, I don't mean to say this to provoke you or to TSR Subramaniam. But the fact is, there is so much outrage today, isn't there? Because Narendra Modi was not allowed to address a rally. And Meenakshi Lekhi is all fire and brimstone. Has Meenakshi Lekhi or TSR Subramaniam or Kiran Bedi forgotten for that example? That the Election Commission warned Mulayam Singh Yadav for threatening that he would withdraw financial sops to Shiksha Mitras if they don't vote for the BSP. TSR Subramaniam, have you forgotten that the Election Commission pulled up Badruddin Ajmal, president of the AIUDF in Assam, for providing a religious overtone to his anti-BJP campaign in Assam? No, but let me complete. Have Meenakshi Lekhi and TSR Subramaniam forgotten that the Election Commission pulled up?
I'm not talking
that the Election Commission pulled up.
Listen, I'm not talking about that Election Commission has not done good work.
No, but you accuse them of being partisan.
I'm not suggesting. But I have given you 2 instances, and out of those 2 instances,
so I give you 4 instances.
Why no FIR?
I am giving you 4 instances. You respond to my instances. I am giving you 4 instances.
Why have... I'm saying in any case, when you determine, they may have done 99.9% good work.
No, no,
But the 0.1% which has not been correct
no,
is going
one
to be
second.
questioned.
One
And
second.
it is that which
You
I'm
are.
questioning.
What if I say?
I've given you an instance.
No, no. What if I say?
Why no FIR has been recorded against
Miss
Rahul
Lekhi, just
Gandhi?
hear me out.
Let them answer me on that.
Hear me out, Miss Lekhi. Understand the line of my argument. And I actually want TSR Subramaniam to come in. I see Pavan Verma raise his hand. After that, you can get into an open debate. What I am raising is a very simple question. I am saying, okay, the election commission made an error, made a mistake in Varanasi, right? But you can't have the entire BJP turn around and say, oh my God, you stopped Narendra Modi from having a rally. You are completely partisan. Because in Assam, one minute, Meenakshi Lekhi, 1 minute.
I want to.
Miss Lekhi, 1 minute. Let me complete.
I never said that.
No, 1 second. When the election commission censored Beni Prasad Verma on the 1st of May after he made highly insulting comments against Narendra Modi, did you then say that the election commission is a picture of objectivity and it actually took on Beni Prasad Verma for insulting Narendra Modi? Did you say that? Mr. Subramaniam, fact is the BJP didn't.
Let me.
So is this all a lot of heat and dust because Modi is involved?
Send Masood, the Congress candidate.
Mr. Subramaniam.
Arnab, I would like, Arnab, give me a chance. Others are continuing all the time.
Go ahead.
Others are butting in all the time.
Go ahead.
Give me a chance to say for 1 minute. Firstly, I firmly of the view, I have written about it in a newspaper last week, that nobody has the right to trash the umpire. You can disagree with the umpire, you can never trash him, you can never criticize him and accuse him of partisanship.
That's what the BJP is doing.
Number two, I saw Mamata and I saw I saw Azam Khan, and at that time I had written that the election commission should have responded extremely strongly.
Yeah.
Number two. Number three, I have seen year before last, the CAG being trashed for the Colgate report and the 2G report. We have had, unfortunately, history of our constitutional agencies being trashed. We should not have a tradition that should not happen again.
Why?
On the other hand,
no, why should a constitutional authority be above question?
No. He should be questioned. But he can't be trashed. He can't be. Look, we got institutional changes. In the heat of the battle, you cannot question the general. But you have to court-martial the general later. But during the heat of the battle, you cannot. In this case, the commission has done very badly. They have operated extremely badly. They have let things slide right through. I can give you 10 or 15 instances. Then when somebody jumps in, they cannot now cry wolf. I think it is too late now. I think the real lesson here is that number one, we should now have independent selection of the election commissioners. It cannot be left to the ruling party. It should now be an independent selection. And unfortunately, I can criticize the election commission have asked for it this time and they have got it finally.
No, but here's a stark contrast, and I'm afraid Mr. Surjewala doesn't answer that. By the way, Pavan Verma wanted to come in before I go to Randeep. Yes, Mr. Pavan Verma.
Arnab, the very fact that almost all parties have some grouse or the other with the election commission should make us think that it's not doing an entirely partisan job.
No,
I can tell you that I have met the chief election commissioner and the election commission more than once to protest at some of their actions in Bihar itself. That is a perfectly legitimate exercise. I am saying to you that today I believe some parties, and I think in the Varanasi instance, some of the spokesmen of the BJP have gone far beyond. And I think we need to introspect on this matter. I think this hysteria in terms of a tirade against the election commission
Whose hysteria?
Needs to stop.
Whose hysteria? You're using strong language now. Whose hysteria?
I just heard, now I'll tell you, I just heard my good friend Kiran Bedi's opening statement.
Yes.
I think it's uncalled for. I think what
Ms.
you
Bedi.
need to say is that on these factual situations, the election commission's judgment was in error, its response time was longer. These are perfectly valid arguments. Also, I believe, Arnab, you should have on this show.
No, so what do you want?
For instance,
No, what do you want, Mr. Parva? You want a situation. You want a situation where politicians and activists strap themselves.
I'm telling you.
Don't say anything.
I am saying to you, Arnab, I'm saying to you that no situation in a dynamically moving situation like the Indian election process is black or white. Perhaps the district magistrate.
Sir, that's all words.
You should represent.
That's all words. That's all words. On the 7th of May, Rahul Gandhi is seen inside a polling booth. On the same time, Narendra Modi's rally is not allowed.
Penalize him. Penalize
Where
him
is
by
the
all
penalty?
means. But let not the Congress.
Where is the-
Let not the Congress party say that the election commission is biased.
Well, EC has served a notice now to Rahul. I am getting breaking news now that the EC has served a notice to Rahul Gandhi. I am asking today, for God's sake, what was happening till now? Where was the notice to Rahul Gandhi? Where was the special observer in Varanasi? So when the media picks up the issue, Mr. Sampath Kumar begins to act. And when people question Mr. Sampath Kumar, then people like you, Pavan Verma, will come and say, don't destroy the institutional integrity of these institutions. What about democracy? Is democracy not the reason for the existence of these institutions?
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Arnab, you know what I'm saying, so don't misinterpret it.
No, Kiran Bedi is responding because you made a charge against Kiran Bedi. Let her respond first, Kiran Bedi, to Pavan Verma. I'm coming to you, Ms. Lekhi and Randeep Surjewala right after that.
What did I say? I said the action of the Election Commission is unrecoverable because by Varanasi, what's happened in Varanasi is unrecoverable, is inexcusable. Can you recover that day when the candidate of that constituency was to make a final rally speech? Can you recover that? Can you recover the constituency hearing him? I'm saying it was unrecoverable, inexcusable. What's wrong with that? I've stated a fact, and Mr. Brahma himself has said it, that we made some lapses. What is wrong in what? I've stated what Mr. Brahma has also
Ms.
said.
Bedi,
That day is unrecoverable.
but Ms. Bedi, you're hyping it. How can you say that day is unrecoverable? Ask Meenakshi Lekhi, and Meenakshi Lekhi would be saying that there is a Narendra Modi wave that is going on through the country. Now you say there is a Narendra Modi wave, and Mr. Arun Jaitley writes in his letter that I did not get enough time to sufficiently advertise the rally as the reason to revoke the application. My question here is, who's hyping it? Who's hyping it? Maybe the BJP is hyping it. For its own political reasons, the BJP might be hyping it. Why don't you think about that possibility? Is it only because you are a Narendra Modi supporter, Ms. Bedi, that you are not questioning the BJP tonight?
Not at all. Absolutely not. I think BJP had the right voice. If it doesn't, hasn't Mr. Modi been denied to reach out to his constituency as a candidate from the constituency? Hasn't the constituency lost out hearing the prime candidate? I think it's unrecoverable.
No, but
and
why?
BJP has all the right to be angry.
No, why?
And to protest.
No, but why?
And if they're saying this,
why
what's
wouldn't?
wrong with it?
Okay,
why should they not say?
Okay, no, but why wouldn't? For example, why wouldn't Meenakshi Lekhi come and say there were two versions of the story, and I should not be playing victim because there could be a contradiction of facts in the public domain? We put up a notice, the Election Commission acted, and in fact we are very satisfied that not just an officer but a very senior officer, the Chief Electoral Officer of Tamil Nadu, has been rushed in to oversee this election. Does this not prove, I'm just playing devil's advocate, Meenakshi Lekhi, does this not prove that not just is the Election Commission responding to what you're saying, but the Election Commission is responding with an incredible amount of alacrity, speed and seriousness? Ms. Lekhi, it could be argued that you're looking at the whole issue through a stilted lens.
No. I would say I welcome this decision. This decision has been taken, but not with alacrity, but some delay. And had this decision been taken impromptu, the results would be different, and nobody will be questioning or having the opportunity to question the Election Commission, and they would have saved the day for rest of the nation, which did not happen. In fact, similar instances are getting reported, and Azamgarh is another place which I am reporting. If people are watching your channel, and especially Election Commission is monitoring, I think they need to have a relook at the manner in which Azamgarh specifically is being dealt with, and administration is working there. And even in case of Varanasi, let me tell you three things. One, there was a particular day fixed, there was a particular assurance given, there was a particular amount deposited. Post that, the entire program is changed,
now you are
and
going
Beni Bagh happens to be the same place where Akhilesh Yadav has a meeting, where even Mr. Kejriwal has a meeting, but Mr. Modi should not be allowed to have a meeting.
No,
and then to some NGO it is given, and which is without date, without time, and also the money which needs to be deposited is taken away, and specifically the manipulation of law. I'm saying that the money, if had to be a voucher, had to be made. The date and time will come. So you do away with the permission in terms of not being permitted.
You know, you are really
that permission is granted. Now this is a blatant violation of the law.
One second.
If a person can stay in position of power by violating the law, I have every business to question that.
Fine, no. You have every business to question that, but you are accusing the Election Commission of being partisan. My simple question to you, Ms. Lekhi.
So be it.
My simple question, and I'll get responses. I should go to Pavan Verma and Randeep Singh Surjewala next because they've been waiting, but I think this question even they would like to hear your answer to. I remember a person called Ravi Shankar Prasad, your very senior colleague in the BJP.
Why in the past tense?
No, I remember a very senior person called Ravi Shankar Prasad. It's present continuous. There's no past. It's present continuous tense. Ravi Shankar Prasad really praised the Election Commission when the ban on Amit Shah was revoked. So when Election Commission revokes the ban on Amit Shah, the BJP stands and gives a standing applause. Now let me give a second example. Siddharth Singh, when the Election Commission acted to order the removal of the police superintendents of Birbhum, West Midnapur, Murshidabad, Malda and Burdwan, and the district magistrate of the 26 Pargana district of West Bengal, your other colleague Siddharth Singh said the Election Commission is a supreme authority and they have done great work. Now they do great work in those instances. One instance, and after all, Narendra Modi is another candidate. One instance, they don't allow you to hold a rally, and everything that you've said in the past put aside, and all BJP leaders overeager to please their prime ministerial candidate suddenly say the Election Commission is partisan. Now, out of a sense of proportion, nothing else. Simply for proportion, Pavan Verma, in a sense of proportion, do you think Meenakshi Lekhi should revise her reactions tonight? Pavan Verma first, after that Meenakshi Lekhi. Randeep Surjewala raised his hand. Pavan Verma.
Very quick point, Arnab. I genuinely believe this is a case of overreaction. Because I believe, and you pointed out the Amit Shah incident, there have been several incidents where the Election Commission has been accused of being partial to someone and biased against another in terms of the evolving dynamic situation. I am saying don't use one incident to damn the institution. And I can tell you some of the language being used now is very serious for the aggression and intimidation contained in it.
What language? Whose language?
For instance, even the remark that if you have issued an FIR against me, I challenge you to issue another FIR against. We need not be so provocative. This is my only question. I say it as an argument of reasonability. The Election Commission is conducting, as I told you, the world's largest organized human exercise. There are bound to be contested decisions.
So when was the Election Commission partisan? When it exonerated Amit Shah, or when it pulled up Congress Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma for making anti-Modi comments? Then it was not anti-partisan. Then Meenakshi Lekhi, you and the other BJP spokespersons were not, speaking the language that you are now. Yes, TSR Subramaniam also wants to come in. Meenakshi Lekhi, I know you want to respond, but hear the other side. Okay, Randeep Surjewala. After TSR Subramaniam, Mr. TSR Subramaniam.
Arnab,
I think, yes.
Arnab, I want to balance this. Arnab, I want to balance this only with one point. Arnab, I want to.
What we completely forget, sir, is that Bharatiya Janata Party on 6th of May through Shri Vidyasagar Rao, what is it that BJP is complaining hoarse about and making political capital about? Non-grant of permission for that one rally? There are two facts which are very important for you viewers. Number one, on 6th of May, Vidyasagar Rao, representative of Mr. Modi, withdrew permission for this rally and took an alternative site which they threw later. Why? That's a question neither Mr. Jaitley nor Mr. Modi nor Ms. Meenakshi Lekhi has answered. Number two, the ground was examined by a security team including those from Gujarat Police. And they gave a certificate, to my knowledge, that this ground is not fit for security reasons
Did
for
they?
holding a rally of Mr. Modi
Show it.
for the simple reason
Is
that
that
on
so?
2nd of May, BJP spokesperson held a conference in Varanasi and said Mr. Modi's security is under threat and that Mr. Modi should be given adequate security while campaigning
Show
in
me the
Varanasi.
papers.
It's a
Show me the
judgment
papers.
call to be taken by
Show the
magistrate
papers.
and election
Meenakshi
commission.
Lekhi says what
Why
you're saying is
it
false.
That both these facts
She
are
says
being
what you're
hidden?
saying is
Why
false.
Ms. Lekhi and the Bharatiya Janata
Ms.
Party
Lekhi,
today?
I heard her say that what you're saying about the claims that the Gujarat police had actually itself been the spanner in the works of Narendra Modi's rally. She said that's a patently false remark.
I'm saying it with
Meenakshi
a sense of
Lekhi.
responsibility and knowledge.
Well, I don't know. Where's the knowledge? Show me the papers. Show me the proof.
But I think this is what the returning officer also
Let Ms.
said.
Lekhi
I don't
deny
know.
that a person from Gujarat police was
am
not
denying
present when the security drill of this
denying
ground
it.
was conducted.
Ms. Lekhi,
I am denying it. I am denying it outrightly,
Ms.
and
Lekhi,
all
Ms.
AILU
Lekhi,
meetings are
please
attended
understand,
by
whenever
people
a
of the
program
rank
is
of
held,
IG and
now you
DG.
will also deny
And-
the 2nd May press
Oh, I am
conference that
very
you held in Varanasi,
responsible. I am
where
very
you said,
responsible,
where
and I
you
do my
said
paperwork pretty
that
okay.
Mr.
I mean, I read the
that
papers
Mr.
and come.
Narendra Modi faces threat. You will deny the press conference of Mr. Arun Jaitley
No.
post Patna
You
class,
can't
where he said
use
Mr.
the
Modi's
garb
security is
of
vulnerable. You will deny
security.
that BJP
Okay,
delegation went
if
to
he is
Home Minister of
vulnerable,
country and demanded SPG protection for him.
My question comes to you. My question comes to you back again. So you don't give him SPG protection, but you will prevent him from holding rallies in UP, whereas he can hold rallies wherever.
But Ms. Lekhi,
in his
you are a
own
lawyer, you should
constituency
know
in Varanasi, he
SPG
cannot hold a
protection
rally.
is
I mean,
given
what
to
kind
those
of
who are
democracy are we
SPG
talking about?
protectees.
You can't
And
give
I
a
did not
protection to a
stop Mr.
candidate
Modi from holding the
to
rally.
have
The
a rally
district
in his
magistrate
own
did
constituency.
based on the
Is this the
localized
democracy we are
considerations
working
there.
in?
And the election commission
I think
then
the central
perhaps
government
conferred
needs
with
to
the
be held
Director General of
responsible.
Police
It
and
is
Chief
this.
Secretary and took
It
an
is-
appropriate
it's
call.
Exactly.
Did you
Where
not
is the
take
Director General?
permission
Where
for
is
an
the
alternative
IG?
site?
Where are
Why
these
did you
people?
reject
What
it?
is their statement?
Only
What
to
kind
make
of security
political
arrangement
capital.
have they made if we cannot have a rally?
No, but
This
you
is
also
exactly
answer.
what the point
If you
is.
took permission
This
for
is
an
how you are
alternative
spreading
place,
lies,
why did
and you are
reject it?
partisan.
Only to
You
make
are
political
working with the
capital,
SP.
only to
You are
create an
working with
issue
the
out of
SP. It's very
non-issue.
evident.
I'm not partisan. I'm only
What?
pointing out
Not
the
to
fact
be able to
that this was a
campaign
call
in your
taken
own
by election
constituency is a
commission and
non-issue
district
in a
magistrate.
democratic
Why
country.
do you see red everywhere?
This is
Why does
against the
Mr.
freedom of
why does Mr.
expression and
Modi
freedom of
continue to
movement.
threaten
You
democratic
can't do that.
institutions? Is this the way that rule of law
I
is
will
going to be held?
threaten. If
Is
you
this the
stop
way
me
we're going
from
to run this
speaking,
country?
if you
So,
stop
Mr.
me from
Surjewala,
moving, I will threaten.
Mr.
Because that is
Surjewala,
my fundamental right.
Mr. Surjewala, 1 second.
To be upheld?
1 second. Please, Mr. Surjewala, explain one thing to me.
Ms. Lekhi.
What is the law?
Mr. Surjewala, let's look at the Rahul Gandhi
Khan
example.
is given
Let-
an NGO to unfurl the flag without even and exempted from making payment because you know very well the vouchers will have to be deposited in the bank.
No,
The date
watch
will
it.
show.
I
the time
want
will
to-
show.
Mr.
So to do away with that, you exempt the person from making payment, and that's it. The whole
and
thing.
why did Mr. Jaitley
That
reject
is
it?
manipulation of law.
Can you also answer that, please?
Gentlemen, 1
You
minute.
will continue to skirt and not answer.
Who's please, Mr. Randeep Surjewala,
I will
answer another thing.
You answer me.
Miss Lekhi, just a minute. Randeep Surjewala, please be fair tonight. Before I wrap this up, please tell us. Do you want the Election Commission to take suo motu action? Because I have a self-contradictory comment of the Chief Election Commissioner of India. The Chief Election Commissioner of India in the context of Rahul Gandhi. Some people will say, let there be an FIR against Rahul Gandhi now. The Chief Election Commissioner says, and I play those pictures.
Arnab?
No, Mr. Subramaniam, the Chief Election Commissioner says it is a matter of fact that Rahul Gandhi was seeing the EVM in a polling station. That is not a fake picture. It's a real picture. And then he says we will ask for a factual report, and as soon as it is received, further action will be taken. I don't understand. On the one side, Mr. Sampath says it is a fact, and then he says we will ask for a factual report. Mr. Subramaniam, should Mr. Surjewala not himself be asking?
Wait for a report in ordering FIR against Mr.
I will
Modi.
answer that. Don't worry.
Mr. Subramaniam. Mr. Subramaniam.
To answer that.
Mr. Subramaniam first.
We forget that Mr. Rahul Gandhi is a candidate from Amethi parliamentary
Arnab, I want one minute.
No,
Arnab,
Mr.
Arnab, I want
Mr. Subramaniam.
1 minute. I am not being allowed to come in now.
Mr. Subramaniam, please.
I am not being allowed. I am being filibustered.
Mr. Subramaniam,
I
please.
am being filibustered.
Mr. Subramaniam, please, who says he's being filibustered. Mr. Subramaniam, please, allow Mr. Subramaniam in. Yes.
Arnab, I am being filibustered continuously. I want to make only 2 points. I also have having connections with UP. I also have my sources of information, and they tell me that there is no genuine reason, and the whole administration was in this way and that way. Probably they made up their mind. I don't want to make an accusation at this point of time. Till now, I have not heard a convincing reason why the rally was not allowed when so many rallies are allowed at so many other places and at the same place for other people, number one. And it is also important to note that I can understand the anger of Modi because so many people had said so many things. When Chidambaram and others say, if Modi becomes Prime Minister, there will be riots all over India. If that is not provocative, that does not get an FIR. Now, why should this particular thing, at least even without a notice, get an FIR? I am not supporting or opposing anybody. I believe that the Election Commission has mishandled it. I am not attributing motives. I think they have been highly ham-handed in doing whatever they are doing. They are doing an impulse, etc. We need to review the kinds of people that we have in the Election Commission.
Okay, I just want to make a clarification that notice which we spoke about to Rahul Gandhi is not on the EVM issue.
It is the same Election Commission that permitted Mr. Modi to hold hundreds of rallies. It is the same Election Commission that pardoned the remarks of Mr. Amit Shah when he said Azamgarh is a den of terrorists. It is the same Election Commission which ignored Mr. Modi's remarks on 24th April, including his tweet when he said, I warn the Election Commission. He intimidates Election Commission. They hurl abuses at Election Commission. They denigrate Election Commission. Is that the way? Mr. Subramaniam, you being Cabinet Secretary, sir, I ask for to your sense of reason, is that the way that we are going to treat democratically institutions enshrined with the task of conducting free and fair elections? I can disagree with Election Commission 100 times. But nobody can intimidate constitutional bodies. Nobody can denigrate and humiliate. Nobody can hurt.
I am asking a very basic question, and Kiran Bedi, I am coming to this to you before I wrap this up. 1 minute. 1 minute. Rahul Gandhi says that 22,000 people will be killed or something to that effect if Modi comes to power. Today the Election Commission serves a notice to Rahul Gandhi. How am I convinced the Election Commission is not suddenly doing a balancing act? Because it is on the back foot? Why was this not done earlier?
Amit Shah, they tried to do balancing act by clubbing it with Azam Khan's statement. Where was the need? The dates were different.
Why Mr. Azam Khan was never permitted by Election Commission to come back.
No, the Election Commission was
accepted. And the next day he goes and does what?
It will be a sad day.
It is a den of terrorists.
It will be a sad day, and Kiran Bedi has the last word. It will be a sad day if the Election Commission has to be guided on how to carry out its duties.
Should go to Bangladesh.
Kiran Bedi.
What does Mr. Giriraj say?
Kiran Bedi.
Anybody who disagrees with Mr. Modi should go to Pakistan.
Kiran Bedi.
Mr. Modi sits on a stage in Mumbai where Ramdas Kadam makes communal statements and Mr. Modi claps.
You are twisting.
Okay, I'm taking a break. I'm extending the debate. I'm back in a few minutes.
Not twisting.
The debate continues. Stay with me. I'm back in a few minutes. On the 1st of May, Kiran Bedi, Rahul Gandhi says 22,000 people will be killed in a rally in Solan. He said this if Narendra Modi comes to power. Today, the Election Commission wakes up and you go to the Election Commission website, you see the notice put up. Is this a genuine act or is this a balancing act that the Election Commission is now being forced to do? Ms. Bedi.
It's a balancing act, and I think we're all missing Mr. T.N. Session. As simple as that. I think the whole process of selecting of EC members of the Election Commission must be revisited by the new government. I have the quick following points. Number one, I think we need to, with respect to Mr. Surjewala, he must be contained because he always overspeaks others so that neither can he be heard nor can others be heard. With respect to him, I would request he to be restrained from overspeaking on others. Similarly, others should not overspeak him. We should respect so that we as panelists can hear each other. My second point is time is of essence. It can make all the difference between, and therefore election commission cannot afford to make a mistake, because when it makes a mistake, it can make all the difference between defeat and victory. When every single vote counts, a mistake by election commission is irretrievable. It's gone. The day is gone. That's what I wanted to say. Second, finally, what I'd like to say, it's been a denial of rights, both to the candidate as Mr. Modi of Varanasi and to the constituency of hearing their candidate. I think it's been a denial of rights. You cannot recover the day again. That's what I'm saying. When every vote counts, the election commission cannot afford to make such mistakes.
Well, I give Mr. Surjewala one opportunity to respond. Mr. Surjewala, keep it brief because we're wrapping it up quickly. But point number one.
Arnab, there are
point
three
number
short
one
points.
is
Number one,
Mr. Surjewala.
nobody prevented Mr. Modi.
Mr. Surjewala, allow me to make the point focused. And the focused point is this. Rahul Gandhi says 22,000 people will be killed if Narendra Modi comes to power. 1st of May, right? 1 week and more passes, election commission does nothing. In this intervening period, Rahul Gandhi makes innumerable other speeches. The inaction and the abject inaction, the delayed action or whatever you may call it, of the election commission will seem to a lot of people to be a tacit approval of the kind of language Mr. Rahul Gandhi used in Solan. And pray tell me, Mr. Surjewala, what is this gigantic, unavoidable bureaucracy in the Election Commission of India that makes the Election Commission do nothing as far as Rahul Gandhi's speeches are concerned for so many days? What is the gigantic bureaucracy of the Election Commission of India that makes it do nothing when Rahul Gandhi enters a polling booth? Why? And would you, had Narendra Modi entered a polling booth, or had Narendra Modi given a speech that if Rahul Gandhi comes to power, 22,000 people will be killed, would you have kept quiet and not demanded action? Scratch your conscience tonight, Mr. Surjewala, as you reply to that.
I want to begin by telling Ms. Bedi, whom we all respect, that when others speak, I know that she doesn't interrupt, but everybody else also has to ensure that they give the Congress party sufficient time and opportunity to speak. Number two, the specific point that you raised, Arnab, Election Commission, you can agree and disagree with, criticize and protest against. But nobody can, as Mr. Modi has done, intimidate, threaten and warn.
No, you are not answering my question.
That is the short point that we made. Number three, I'm answering your question. If any conduct of any Congress candidate, including Congress Vice President, is found not in accordance with Election Commission guidelines, Election Commission is well within its rights to issue us a notice. Congress Vice President has done nothing.
Nothing.
Because we at least are a political party who adhere to the EC guidelines and model code of conduct. We know how to do so. Even when our candidate was sent to jail, while Bharatiya Janata Party's people were only case was registered against, we did not protest. Mr. Rahul Gandhi had the courage of his conviction to go and deprecate the
Meenakshi
conduct
Lekhi,
of the
quick
candidate
response, and I'm wrapping up after that.
We will only speak the language of love.
Wait, we're wrapping up after that. Mr. Surjewala, quick response from Meenakshi Lekhi. Rahul Gandhi has done nothing.
You're trying to... idiom which says you can't compare oranges with apples, and this is exactly what Mr. Surjewala is trying to do. Situations are not comparable, but he's going on comparing. Second point is, the situation is very serious when a candidate enters not just the polling booth he can enter, but he's next to the EVM machine with another person. That is not permitted. And if that is not permitted, how is that person reprimanding somebody else for some other inaction? Now, whenever Election Commission has done a fantastic job, nobody is questioning. But here we have given you an instance between the treatment of Mr. Modi and treatment of Mr. Gandhi. The time gap between the instances itself shows there is something which is amiss, and I'm glad that at least today they have woken up and they've chosen to take an action, but only partially. Only partially. The second part, according to my information, is still missing, that they have not issued any notice or registration of FIR about the EVM part or his entering the booths with somebody else in the polling station. That they have not taken cognizance of. I think that also they must come out.
Wrapping up the debate, we've taken this
between action is what gives gives suspicion.
We've taken this long enough, but I'd certainly like to say one thing at the end. All those who say put the Election Commission on a pedestal, and all those people who say anyone who criticizes the Election Commission is wrong, they are the ones who should really be introspecting tonight on what they have been saying. The ball is in their court. Thank you for joining me on debate number 1.